So enlightened ones, those who can keep their mind as empty sky, can enjoy nirvana right here. Those people who are under the darkness of clouds in their mind, they create hell out of a wonderful nirvana world because of the ignorance and the deluded mind. They change all the wonderful things in the world to the items in the hell. In a rich family with luxurious cars like like Ferrari. No, those people don't drive Ferrari. They drive a Mercedes-Benz 500 or something, or Rolls-Royce if you want. But many of them suffer hellish life because of their mind. They change all those good conditions to the condition for sufferings. Why? Because of the ignorance. Their mind is full of greed, stupidity, foolishness, and so on. So they change a wonderful world into a hellish world. These days, the big guys in the government and all of this country, we somehow expect their life to be very happy. But we have since too many of them simply changed the paradise into hell with those luxurious cars and the mansions and the $7 million yacht and so on. Do you think they really enjoy nirvana in this life? No way. So, what is important is the power to keep your mind as empty as the empty sky. So, the first of the 3 lines on the top, can you keep your mind as empty as the empty sky? Empty of what? Empty of all those unwholesome things from your mind, like dark clouds in the sky of your mind. Funny thing is this: once the clouds arise in the sky of your mind, they just don't go away. It lasts quite a long time. You know what I'm talking about. You agree with me, right? Oh yes. Now, what is important is the power to wipe out. And what is the way of attaining spiritual power? So that in the first place, you don't allow the dark clouds of greed, anger, and the foolishness arise in your mind. In the first place, those are Buddhas. And next is those, even though they are not fully enlightened Buddhas, they have the power. As soon as they arise, the ideal situation, not let them arise. But the second is, even if they arise right away, you reflect on your Buddha nature, original nature. And then as soon as you recognize them as dark clouds, they just disappear. If you have reached that stage, you have attained something very important of the great value. That's the way you can steer your life away from all those dangerous, painful situations and surroundings and so on. Remember, even if you have a lot of money and so on, but when you're in your bed, you think of all those things you worry about, and sometimes you cannot fall asleep. Am I saying the truth or not? I'm telling you from my own experience, okay? I'm only a human being, happens to have learned this great teaching of the Buddha and the Great Master Sotasan and the Master Chung. I'm a very lucky person, because I must have had some good affinity in my previous life, so that I was born in Korea, where WonBuddhism started. I didn't meet the Great Master Sotasan, but I had the great fortune of meeting Great Master Chung, whose teaching we are now reading. you know. And I hope that you too attain the great power to disperse the dark clouds in the sky of your mind whenever they arise. And if you let them stay there for many days, it becomes your karma. It becomes very thick in karma, and eventually it becomes part of your personality. Why? In today's science, it is somehow programmed in your brain, in neurons and so on, and it will be very difficult to get rid of them, you see. It's like dyeing, you know, dyeing with like a color, red. Here's a white cloth, cotton. But if you dye it, if you keep that very close to either red ink or black ink or so on, eventually it will be dyed. You know? So we have a saying, if you make yourself stay around close to the ink, then you become the color of the ink. So you see, if you listen to the teaching of the Buddha many, many times, eventually you will cleanse some of the things in your brain. In today's science, they'll prove it. You know, how do you know that? Well, look at those people suffering from like a dementia or like a depressions. You know what happens in the depressed person? Their brains are somehow messed up. You know why. Suppose it's not. Suppose the feeling of depression has nothing to do with your brain. It would be very easy. You simply blow it away. Hey, go away. Wouldn't that be nice? Unfortunately, if you think certain things for a long, long time, it is simply programmed just like a computer. Okay? Or CD, or DVD, like that. So that whenever you play, well, you cannot expect any other than what you have, what do you call that? Stored. Recorded it, or you stored it there. In our brain, eventually science will prove, including like even all those diseases, you know. Well, now, what should we do to attain the great power to disperse the dark clouds from our mind when they arise? Many people just don't have the power to disperse them. And even they just don't know that they are suffering from those dark clouds of ignorance, delusions, and resentment, grudge, and so on. They don't know. They think that sometimes people enjoy it, you know. When they are angry, they have a certain feeling of great satisfaction, you know. Isn't that awful? And then they do many things wrong. So what should we do? I mean, well, answer is this. In Buddhism, you know, the word Buddhism means teaching of Buddha, but the word Buddha means enlightenment. Enlightenment, and in Buddhism there's what is called wisdom. We just read the Hatha Sutra. Wisdom, prajna, is so important. Prajna, the wisdom, is compared to like refining power, the fire, you know, to refine the ore and to refine the gold out of the ore, right? You know what I'm talking about? The gold mining?